Yo! What's going on? Welcome to another edition of the THOR. This is episode number 700000007. We got good times in the house today. Oh, your mic's off. We got them muted.
Am I back? Is there things happening?
You're back.
Yes. All right.
Okay. Cool. Okay, we're good now.
Woo!
What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, good times, man.
Awesome.
Excited to be here finally.
Absolutely, I know, right? Good times. What have you been doing that you haven't been on the stream?
Oh man, I'm back to real life. I've been having to leave the digital realm to be active in the human world, and it's been a little crazy. It's been fun. It's been fun to be out there with civilization again.
Right.
I've been just working. And I have been going out to get back to nature a little bit. I spent a lot of time in front of the screen, and I've realized that I've heard it from somebody. The kids are calling it touching grass, and I think it's such a nice little way of saying it. And yeah, just going out on the weekends, getting away from the computer. I disconnect from like my phone, from everything, and then do like a day out in nature, and then come back to this.
Touching grass, I like that.
I know.
I gotta do more of the touching grass action.
Especially if we're gonna do something with planting cryptids out there, right?
That's right.
We gotta start exploring the spots.
Rexon is in the Twitch chat. What's up, Rexon? Hope everything's good for you today. Yeah, so I'm super excited. Let's get some mellow vibes going. Super excited today. Got a special guest in the house. We're going to bring him in. Let's just bring him right now. We got THOR, animator, graffiti artist, mad hip hop enthusiast. What's up?
What's happening?
How are you, man?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you good. Can you hear us okay? Are we all good?
Yes, perfect.
THOR, hi, this is good times.
Hi, good times.
Man? What's happening, THOR?
Cool. Yep, my English is good, but I never speak it, so I will have to get accustomed to speaking.
Beautiful. Well, you're doing great so far.
I may change my accent a little bit, but I will find my groove in time.
Get it.
All good. How are you doing today? I love that soft purple behind you, like that lighting.
That's my indoor lighting.
Yeah. Very nice. It's cool. It gives a nice chill vibe.
Yeah. It's 2:30 p.m. here in Argentina.
Nice.
So I just woke up.
Okay.
Beautiful. Just getting the day started.
Well, nice. I got my coffee here, so we're all just getting up. Yeah, man.
What is time?
Yeah,
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, so we stumbled on your art while we were browsing Hicket Nunk, and specifically the Hayoka. Let me share my screen real quick. Boom, this little guy.
Yeah.
And I was just I stopped and like, wait a second, we have to have one. And then I read the little story about it and stuff, and I want to get into that, but your style is very, it just has a very unique look to it. And so I guess I kind of want to know where your style comes from. Have you always been an artist since you were young? Has that always been a part of who you are? And
yeah. I pretty much drew all my life. Always had a knack for drawing. I'm not much of a painter. I don't get along too well with color. But that's why I do mostly black and white And yeah, I know. I think this style comes mainly from my memories of the Dr. Katz show. I don't know if you've seen it.
Dr. Katz.
It's a show about a psychologist that interviews comedians. It's animation. It's very old. It's from the 90s.
It was
So
like MTV, right?
I think it was when I was little. I used to watch it on HBO maybe.
Late night cartoon, I think.
Yes, and
Okay.
they had this style that the lines were always squiggly.
Yeah.
And I remember as a child that always made an impression on me, and I used to love that dynamic style of the lines. Later, when I watched it again on YouTube, I realized that the line don't move as much as I recalled. It's more of a selective memory thing, but
yeah,
that was the main inspiration. And then when I grew up, mainly mushroom trips and LSD stuff, you realize that everything is so dynamic, that everything moves, that everything breathes. It's not so static as we see it in normal life. And that also was a big inspiration to do this type of moving, breathing textures and lines.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, now that you've said it out loud, it all I'm like, yep, yeah, he's right. I feel like I've known this forever. I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah, everything is vibration. Of course, it all makes sense. Like, what are we but just vibrating atoms? Of course, the lines are squiggly everywhere. Oh man, that's awesome.
Shiny, squiggly people.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
And the text on this particular piece that you read on the podcast, it mainly comes from I used to do stand-up comedy.
Okay.
I did it for like a year or two. I didn't do it too much, but I found out about the sacred clowns, the heyokas of the Native Americans, and it was such a cool concept to me, because I always thought clowns were something of the Europeans, something more medieval, more. And to find out that they have this backwards way of doing stuff to contrast the social way of doing things, I took a liking to that as a former comedian, but then I realized it's something that is prevalent in all arts, trying to do things in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes me think of there was another when I was a little younger, I read gosh, what was it called? It's The Teachings of Don Juan.
The Castaneda.
Yes, Castaneda. And I remember being, like you're saying, like in that mindset of like taking mushrooms and acid and reading that stuff in that time in my life. And there was a particular practice that the author had to do where he would be forced by his teacher to stand in awkward ways, like do really strange shapes with him, with his body, and hold it there. And it was a way to kind of shock him out of the normal way of life. And that always stuck with me, this kind of the role that we can play in life as like artists and creatives of kind of jarring people out of their day-to-day with odd behavior, or just things to remind you that you're alive, I guess.
If you ask me, that is the original programming. that is the original programming of the artist. Like if you could separate people, I think that's what happens. You wake up with this desire to show people that the world is not what they think. And this is not new. This. I mean, I've always bring up the Matrix. I always bring up the Butterfly Dream. I always bring up the allegory of the cave. All these things that tell you is not what you're seeing. It's something else. And the artist is the conduit, I think, through which we understand the parts of the universe that we cannot see. The stuff that we cannot physically bring into is the artist lets us know this exists, right? That's really cool. The challenge of reality.
The Heyoka, the sacred clown. Yeah.
And it's always been a part of it. It's always existed through culture. You've had jesters. You've always had, I was laughing about something with hieroglyphics. I'm not well, I guess it would be called hieroglyphics, but not specifically hieroglyphics. But history found we found this graffiti, and it's the first depiction of Jesus that was written on a textbook or whatever, as a drawing. The oldest one that we could find was actually a graffiti that some kid drew, I guess, or some student drew about another student saying, "Hey, this guy's really really into this Christian Jesus guy that's popping out lately." So he drew Jesus in a cross with a donkey's head, and like the other guy like admiring him and saying like, I don't know, let's say his name was, Cassius. Oh, Cassius is such a Jesus lover. And
the one of the first depictions of Jesus you're saying was graffiti from a kid kind of making fun of
the Christian kid, like, hey, that guy's really getting into that Christian Jesus guy. Oh, what a loser! And he like drew a graffiti of Jesus in a cross with a donkey head, and the homie like looking at him like, "Oh, I love you and I adore you." And it's like, "Oh, Cassius is a Christian lover."
Graffito.
Yeah.
I gotta say what's up to some people in the chat. I got Citizen B, Rexon's in here. Good to see you guys in here.
Citizen B said the sound is great today, so thank you for that. And awesome. I'm glad we got it.
Right. We need the setup that you got going on there, Thor. You got the microphone. You got That's lit. Also, we got Trinity. Oh, Trinity Life Church is here. That's my pops.
Nice.
He's streaming. He's checking in today. Graffito. He's being a stickler on that. But yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
But yeah. So, and speaking of graffiti, Thor, on your profile, it mentions graffiti artists. So you were always drawing and stuff, and then how did you what's like the evolution there? Like, is it just like in school and you started seeing some of the hip hop culture, or what?
No, I started with graffiti pretty late, like 5 years ago in 2016.
Okay,
and, actually, I started 2011 with stickers, but I was kind of afraid of the cans, of the spray cans.
Spray cans?
I had too much respect for them. But then in 2016, I started trying out the spray cans, and I really liked them.
Yeah.
Once you get the hold of how to kind of do it, it's really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. So you're coming into graffiti later in life, and did you always share your work like digitally? Did you ever make like printed work and give it to your friends, or did you just have sketchbooks and stuff, or
Yeah, I always sketched and draw, but I never printed any stuff. I'm mainly digital. I really like the digital stuff. I started with this type of animation around 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I was it mainly started because I was in a long relationship, you know, like 4 years, and then we split up, and I, you know, when you're in a relationship that sometimes you kind of isolate yourself and you're only with that person, and you
Yeah.
stop having friends. And I was in that kind of relationship, and then when we broke up, I was feeling really alone and isolated. So this start trying to animate and show my work on Instagram was a way for me to start connecting back with the world.
Right.
It was a sort of social currency.
Interesting.
Sure.
That's interesting. That's I always look at I've always looked at the networking that happens online as such a viable alternative, right? It's such a strong alternative when you culturally approach it the right way. And a network online can be just as good as having the friends outside in the real world. You can find some really good support, and I've seen some really interesting happen. Some really cool connections online. I think we worked together. Me and Jeff actually worked together, and it wasn't until we actually started messing around with stuff online that we really actually had a connection. They're like, "Oh man, we should have gotten along a long time ago. We could have been doing karate a long time ago. What is wrong with us?" So it's a beautiful thing that we are slowly taking over the internet and using it for what it's supposed to be used, right? Which is this. Creating these networks of people that support each other, that all have a common theme and a common thread. This is pretty cool. So I'm glad that you found it.
And also it connects with the real life as well, because I started uploading these animations to Instagram, and then that also made me know a lot of people from my town, from real life, you know. So it really works both ways.
Right. Yeah. It's like a synergy.
Yeah.
They can build on each other and make things even better. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, we can become famous, by the way, because one of the people in the chat is definitely not a robot, and we can buy a few viewers and followers because of this person. So that's just great. Sorry to interrupt, but that was very important.
It's okay.
That's a good sign for us. I think that we're doing the right thing.
When the bots show up, it means we're doing it right.
Yeah, so you have these are like so cool. Have you thought about or kind of doing some more character animation, kind of like the show that kind of inspired all this, where you kind of take one of your characters and send it on adventures?
Yeah, I actually started that last year.
Yeah.
If you look at my Instagram, there are a couple of animations there that they are very short. They're like 4 or 5 videos that are like less than 1 minute, and they are two characters that interact with each other.
Excellent.
But it takes way too much time to make animation by yourself. You know, you have to record the voices and write the scripts and animate them moving their mouth. It's really hard, you know.
Right, it's very time consuming, right?
I found out I work best when I have to do something, a project that is not so much time consuming, so I can do it in a couple of days, and then I finish it and it's done. You know, if I have to do it in a lot of weeks or months, I end up getting bored and I leave it.
You lose interest, yeah.
Yeah, I lose interest pretty quick.
Yeah. I think that's true of a lot of people. It's difficult to be kind of a solo artist and have to put in that kind of time, like with a project, for sure. It feels really good to finish stuff, you know.
Yeah, and it's also very hard to collaborate as well. You know, getting along with other people and sharing a vision of what you want to do is also really hard.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. Getting people to work together in this world is it's a difficult thing.
And you know what? Like, I mean, for myself, I always get a little bit self-conscious about my project. That, you know, if I'm involving anyone else, I assume that I'm a burden, and it's like, you know, I really could use some help, but I know you probably don't want to do this because it's just like, it's just my thing. It's not that great. What you're doing is great. I get a little bit, I get in my head, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm doing better about it. I'm overcoming it, you know.
Yeah, we're breaking through, man. We're having the conversations, which is like the first step, right?
That's right. That's right. But I noticed also that you do some freestyling and some rapping.
Yeah, it's not actually freestyle. It's written.
Okay.
Okay.
I started in last year when the quarantine started, and I said, why not try some experiments? And people send me words through the Instagram questions in the stories when you ask questions. And I said, throw me some words and I will try to make something with that. And people started sending me words and I started writing some songs, you could say, some rhymes with that. And it was really cool. It was really fun. And people seem to really like it.
I said whoever sent you tetrahydrocannabinoid is a jerk.
No, but I like it when they send me hard words, you know.
Yeah, you like rocked with it, man. I was like, hell yeah.
Now we previewed some of this stuff beforehand, but I don't think anyone in the chat has seen these. Would you mind terribly if I played one?
No, go ahead.
Excellent. I got it queued up. I'm ready.
No one will understand the Spanish, but it's okay.
I will.
Okay. Yeah, Andy's in.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Let's get this bigger. There we go. Alrighty. Let me turn off what I got going on here. All right, chat. Prepare. So again, just to recap, this is we've got suggestions for things to use in the rap, and then you wrote something, and this is the result. Okay, very cool. Let's do it.
Prefiero buenas nuevas a las malas conocidas. Si no quieren ser forros, háganse vasectomías. Ya empezó la fase 4. Sacate ese barbijo lento que me vuelvo chango. Vela, nena, esa cena con velas. Ya no me molesta la cuarentena. Hasta la melaza, pasa por casa por tu dulce crack and love. Te robo una sonrisa o me llevo tu cartera. De tus impulsos básicos seré la marioneta. Caramba, no quiero estar en amba. Allá al estar en casa en bata se te extiende banda. Qué linda era Rosario cuando estaba desierta. No temo basecito, el kraken se me despierta. Te quiero y te extraño, dibujar no me hace daño. Y si lo hago con vos, seguro sigue un rato largo. Arquitecto y constructor de mi propio destino. ¿A qué temperatura se funde el aluminio? El tranza no vino, no importa. Siempre habrá un pedazo de él adentro nuestro. Velas, rolas y saumerios vibran líos graves que no salen en los medios. Siempre es la primera vez que tengo esta edad. Es un truco viejo que acabo de inventar. Galaxia, tetrahidrocannábica, tu espacio está para ocuparlo con las cosas que te importan. Me gusta el aislamiento porque es cuando el resto de la gente vive como yo vivía siempre.
That's my favorite line.
Ahora la FMS, sus rimas lo merecen. Tengo que aprender a freestylear en pocos meses. Armo equipos invencibles como Jerry Krause. Confianza infundada al estilo Donald Trump. Soy grower ateo, no tendré fe pero tengo fa para esos vuelos. Quereme por lo que soy por dentro. Carne, sangre, órganos, tendones y esqueleto.
Yeah. Now that beat too. What about that beat?
I found the beats on the YouTube.
Okay, yeah,
There's some really great beats out there.
absolutely.
I love the line. There's a line in there that says basically like, I like the quarantine because now everybody's living the way I used to.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Jeff has heard me say this a million times, and probably everybody that lives around me. The quarantine to me was like the cyberpunk apocalypse that I've been dreaming of since I was a little kid. So I was like, yay, I get to stay home. Done.
Yeah, I also had a really good time during the quarantine.
It's interesting, man. It's a I feel like the self-reflective types really had good. The people that are usually very hard on themselves have finally got to take a break and go, wait, I need to slow down. I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think I just picked up one of your pieces right now.
Oh, cool.
From Hick at Nunk. So you'll see I picked up that little guy right next to Bart Simpson. The 420 clock.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I just
Nice.
picked that little guy up. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that for 420,
Yeah.
April 20th.
Tokenized.
Funny. Tokenized. Ooh. Well played.
Wordplay.
That's
Nice.
right.
And then I realized this is the only piece I have that is not a character, you know? This is not
Right.
a face.
Yeah.
It caught my attention, and also you. Funny enough, every single clock in my house is set to that. Has no batteries and is set to that time.
It's always 420.
Oh yeah.
If you check the tezos-artcast profile, you will see I already sent you the piece for today.
Oh, excellent. Awesome. Let me check that. They got this all screwed around. Ooh, oh my God, that's so cool. Yes.
Yes.
All right, chat. So this is the special giveaway today from THOR. He's been generous enough to mint us this beautiful uwu. Can you tell me about this? Did I say it right?
Yeah, it's the uwu it's a face, like the characters make a face.
Okay, yeah.
It's like an anime thing.
Yeah, Japanese animation does an anime thing. Yeah,
Nice.
love it.
Awesome. Heck yeah. So if you want in the chat, you know what to do. Collect, just DM us on Twitter or send an email. Actually, this email is no longer useful. I have a special Tezos-Artcast email that we set up. Tezos-Artcast email, save, show it, boom. Yeah, and we'll send it directly to you so that it doesn't get swept up by bots.
Machines
Awesome.
making machines.
That's right. That is so cool. Yeah, I was so excited. I kept checking back, like, ooh.
Question: how's how's Argentina? How's that? I mean, I know Venezuela really took to Bitcoin for a little while. I've heard some people in Colombia tell me like, hey, yeah, it's starting to pick up. How's Argentina doing with like crypto? Is it a topic that you hear at random, or do you have to start it on your own?
No, not so much. There is a little interest in some people, but it's really small. It's not mainstream at all.
Okay.
So, the government doesn't even tax crypto yet.
Tell me more.
Recently there is one province that is right at the center of the country that is called Córdoba.
Okay.
And they are they have recently started a project to tax crypto, mostly crypto vendors and exchanges.
Okay.
But that hasn't even happened yet. So it's pretty much not taxed at all yet. I think it will be in the future.
Gotcha.
Right.
But there's also a big restriction on dollars, on buying dollars. Right now, you can only buy $200 a month. With your pesos, people here earn Argentine pesos,
Yeah.
and they devaluate very quickly. Like 5 years ago, you could buy $1 with 30 pesos, and now you can buy $1 with 150 pesos.
Okay. Yeah.
So the devaluation is pretty fast, and people always try to buy dollars, but it's very limited how much dollars you can buy. And right now there is like a loophole that using Binance P2P, peer-to-peer, you can buy tethers with your pesos from another person.
Yeah.
And it's like an undercover way of buying dollars, but I haven't seen too much people doing it yet. I think it will be more popular in the future, and the government will catch on to this, and perhaps there will be restrictions ahead.
Okay. Right.
But there's no way of stopping crypto, really.
Right. How did you get involved in crypto to begin with? As far as the NFTs and everything, and finding Hic Nunc and.
I started in the last bull run, in the end of 2017.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember exactly. I think it was through YouTube videos that I found out about Bitcoin. So I was one of the people that bought Bitcoin when it was at the peak in $19,000, and then I watched it crumble to 3,000.
Yeah.
I didn't buy a lot, but it was interesting to get into that world and to find out I'm not really a good trader. But I'm thankful for that, because I later found out about crypto art not so long ago. Around February of this year, I found out about crypto art, and I said like, why didn't I found out about this in 2018? Because I knew about crypto in 2018, and I knew about crypto kitties and stuff like that, but it didn't click for me. The art thing, or the NFT thing, it didn't click for me about putting my art into that. I really wished I found out about it in 2018, so I could be an OG of the crypto art movement.
Yeah.
But
you still are.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. That Hic Nunc sort of gave me that chance of being in the first month or 2 months of a big of what I think it will be a really big platform.
I think I see this growing a lot more. This community is definitely getting a little bit more tight knit. It's pretty rad. To be honest with you, Jeff is really my guide in this jungle. He took point on this one, and he's just clearing the brush. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have never ran into you on my own, and now it's like, oh, really cool, man. It's been a pleasure so far to talk to you and like see what's happening, and as the show gets bigger and bigger, and as the show grows, I like that it's growing with the network. It's not because of advertisement or shit. No. It's an organic thing that's happening as artists actually come together, communicate, and work towards a common goal. And this self-publishing thing, it's the future as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to see anything else but self-publishing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Taking out every middleman.
Yeah, privacy. Our rights. It's our data. It's our rights, right? I think a lot of European countries kind of started working towards that area, but there's a lot of conflict with what the governments want. The type of privacy and the type of stuff that they do. All of this kind of connects. All this crypto stuff. All this kind of connects. Going back to, hey, it's our data. Let us do with it as we wish. Let us. Why is somebody else making money off of my art? Why is
Yeah.
somebody else making money off of my funny comments or my whatever? That should not be the case.
Yeah, and it's really a revelation for me, at least, to be able to sell my art in such a free way and such an effective way. I never imagined I could sell this type of freestyle animations that I just come up with them and I do them. I never imagined people would buy them from me. It didn't get in my head that I could do that, and it's been a couple of weeks that I'm doing it, and I am really fascinated with it.
Yeah, Rexon in the chat says he's been in NFTs for a month and it's really crazy. He says it'll go far.
Oh yeah.
And Citizen B, on the topic of the middlemen, says, yeah, use the decentralized tools at hand. Skip the middleman.
I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah, for sure, Citizen B. If you're watching and you haven't made a comment in the chat, do so, because I'm taking down names to do the drawing for the doubloons that we'll be giving away in a little bit. Rexon, you're doing just fine. He says, I don't speak English, and I hope what I say is understandable. You're doing great. But yeah, if you haven't commented in the chat, just say hey with your Twitter handle or something, and you put in the drawing. On that, again, that same topic keeps popping up, and I'll try not to harp on it too much, but again, I think it's important that artists keep talking about that, about making sure that if there are bridges being made between artists and getting artists on a platform like Hicket Nunk or, whatnot, that it's a learning journey. So there's people who can be a bridge from the non-crypto world to the crypto world, but it has to stay a bridge, and a middleman can make a bridge, but what they often do is stop people in the middle of the bridge and start charging them rent and making them live in the middle of the bridge. And that's
no
what
trolls.
No trolls.
No trolls. We don't want trolls.
So yeah, we should all be, if we're helping people across the bridge, the end result should always be get them on the other side and let them do whatever they need to do on the other side and help them, give them the right tools. So yeah, 100%. And it's good to hear it be brought up. And it's something that has to stay in our conversations, whether it's online or in person, is that's reminding artists who are new, like, hey, don't forget, like, the power of this is not just a new market. The power of this is the independence that it gives you as an artist too, So yeah, so doing chats like these and whatnot is good for that.
Well, this is what creates a culture. That's how you create culture, by making these decisions as a group and saying, does this all work for everybody? Yes. Okay, cool. Let's move forward. Right. When you stop listening to the everybody part is when you screw up. Oh, does this work for everybody? No. Okay. Well, that sucks for you. Yeah, that's when we run into issues. So yeah, I love that we're having this conversation, because it does create that culture, and if we spread that, there's no stopping us. This is the closest thing we've had to a new system of living in a long time, as far as I'm concerned. Crypto, the fact that art just jumped in, to me, is one of the greatest steps we could have taken, because realistically, art is what leads to progress. It is the artist that encourages and catalyzes people to go, oh, I can do other things, right?
That's the Hayoka again, bringing the Joker back into it, right?
And we Tarantino right back into it. Beautiful.
It's like the blockchains are like so cold and boring, the concept of the blockchain. Mm-hmm. And they're really useful, and I love the concept, don't get me wrong, but I think the arts are bringing a lot of symbolism and narratives and new concepts to it, and they're like infusing the blockchain with color and shapes and life.
Yeah.
It's like a
Stop.
really rigid structure that is being infused with life, and it's like these NFTs, because we already know that in the future NFTs will be used to pretty much any type of deed or
Contracts, whatever the hell type of thing. Yeah.
every type of social interaction could be mediated by NFTs, but that the first use case for NFTs is art. Yeah, I think it's not random. It's not a coincidence. It's because of the role of art in society.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
I'm gonna
well
take a
said.
quote from you today. Infusing the blockchain with color is like my favorite thing I've heard today, sir. Well, I like that.
That's right.
I hope you don't mind, but you're getting quoted.
That's cool.
That's going on the official Tezos-Artcast t-shirts.
Ooh, stop! It's over. I like it.
Thor says.
Yeah.
No. No, that's cool, man. So you're doing so much. Like you're doing a lot of creative stuff. Like, do you ever think about going back to doing comedy? Are you just an explorer by nature? Is that like what it is? Like,
Yeah,
you like to do a lot of things.
I really get hooked on something for a couple of months or maybe a year, and then I kind of lose interest and go to the next thing. So right now for me is NFTs and crypto art. Perhaps next year I will go back to comedy. I don't know, but I really like the idea of combining all of them. I will start to bring graffiti back into NFTs in the future, and perhaps comedy into NFTs. Why not? I think everything can be combined, and it's all artistic expression at the end of the day.
Absolutely. That's definitely one thing. Like my dad always has said, you can never have too many certifications. And if you want to work, you got to have a truck. Like you'll always work if you have a truck. And but the certification things, it applies to our interests too. We can see. I think growing up, I always thought of, especially in my teenage years, I saw myself as being like very flighty, if that makes sense, like jumping from one thing to another. And never finishing anything. And as I got older, when you realize that, I do have to finish some things, but everything is informing something else. Your graffiti is going to inform the way you do your animation, is going to inform the way that you write a lyric, is going to inform the way it all feeds into each other. So it's, if it's taking the things that, making your quirks work for you,
Yeah.
Every man is a blockchain on its own.
Infused with color.
Infused with color. I love this.
Do you guys see this NFT thing as something that is really accelerating time? Because
I like that. Yeah.
I got in Hiket Nunc, like what is it today, 29 of April. I got in the 10th, April 10th.
Yeah.
So it's been like 19 days since I got in and started minting, but in my mind it feels like months or even a year.
Yeah.
But for real, it feels like a year.
100%, and I've reconciled time, because when we were stuck at home in the pandemic, like I said, for me, it was at the beginning, it was awesome. I was like, hell yeah, this is exactly what I've always wanted to do, right? Then like 2-3 months in, I realized, oh man, this is like, I got a handle, but this is not where I want to be stuck at for life, right? And with the I feel like this, because the technology is moving fast. Technology itself is moving. The processors and have sped up over. I remember I remember like just regular TVs, right? And then I saw up to now where I have a computer on my wallet. We're all about that age. So for us, really watching technology speed up was part of our growing up.
Yeah.
The new generations were born with their phones already. They didn't have to see it happen, and it hasn't really improved except by maybe like size. But for us, we saw technology move forward, and I feel like, yes, that gave that. When you look at this, Hickok Nung sped up a huge chunk of the self-publishing by creating the canvas, creating the environment, and then we're just not trying to figure it out. We struck oil. We just don't know what the hell we can do with it yet.
Yeah.
Right? We're all sitting here like, oh, I'm sure this is going to be a good thing, but like, what do we do with it? It is now up to, like, there's groups of people that are forming together to figure out, oh, hey, we can make plastic, we can make gas, we can make this, or I feel like that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. It's not fully implemented at all yet.
No, and the technology lends itself to great expansion in many levels. Like you said, you could take this to just be art printing. You could wait till we have music, wait till we have video, full on video included. Once we have that, self-publishing is basically it's available to the world. You're taking away the ability for somebody to say, hey, I drew this, and it's somebody else's work. Because you just go back and like, no, the first time I showed up on the internet on this blockchain was right here, and this is the proof that I'm the one that minted it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think that's I think it's the time being accelerated is definitely a thing. Like I'm experiencing that as well. Like just
it's
not even it's hard to keep up, but it's easy to think like I've already missed it.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about this with my own stuff that I've got going on, like my own creative projects, and it's like, why haven't I been putting my own stuff out there too? Like I'm focused on community projects, and I've always been that way. I always like enjoy engaging with the community and kind of like a third party sense, and then I always am like, why wasn't I investing more time in myself too? And I was talking with Andy about this the other day, and it's like, it's all right. There's plenty of time. Like as soon as you get into the crypto space, it's like, that's the world. And then you talk to somebody that has no interest or no desire to mint anything or to learn about it. And, there's still an entire world that doesn't know about crypto, that doesn't, see it the same way. So I think it's kind of this almost like a hyper reality that we're living in. Like,
yeah,
we're still at the very, very early stages of kind of where it's going. But
now you're talking my language now. That's the way I love to see it. It does. To me, it feels like I habitate two different realities. There's a digital realm in which I am one person, and it's very, and again, it goes back to back to my Matrix analogies, which I always love to make. Which is that I have a persona that goes out into the real world and does things, but in the cryptoverse, in this digital realm, time is completely different. That's why I always emphasize so much. That's why I always emphasize so much. Chef's like, yes.
Yes, that's my.
Tell me more. That's why I always emphasize the fact that you don't need to answer your email immediately, or you don't need to answer like when you're in a forum, you can just write your message and kind of forget about it. It's not like your phone is constantly calling your attention. And to me, that's a constant reminder of time, right? When I have to constantly look at my phone and I see the time, whether I'm looking at it or not, I see the time. Where I'm working at a computer, time is. I could be hours, or I could not, and not notice, oh man, I haven't eaten in like 4 or 5 hours. I should probably get up from here. So there is a time dilation, I feel like, when you're in the cryptoverse, when you're focused on working on these NFTs and creating. And I think that happens with art too, right? And art, the idea Da Vinci wasn't like never slept or something like that. That's the that's the story, that Da Vinci slept like 4 hours a night or whatever,
Hmm.
and he was just constantly painting.
Yeah, it really reminds me of when I was 20 years old, and I used to eat a lot of magic mushrooms, and I used to trip out a lot. I used to listen to a lot of Terence McKenna. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yes, sir.
He used to speak very eloquently about time accelerating exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see that, like you said, in media and technology. For example, in video games, you could see like in the 80s with Nintendo. Now we have PS5, and you can see the evolution, the acceleration, the evolution of graphics.
Yeah.
Used to be like pixels, and 30 years later is like fully realistic with shading and
I remember playing tanks when it was 2 squares shooting other squares at each other, and I was like, "Oh, you're playing tanks."
Battle City.
Yeah. Oh my God, Battle City. Wow.
Yeah, I used to play that on the Nintendo. But that time acceleration seemed like something that was apparent. But now in the last couple of weeks, I am really feeling like it's going in a speed that is way too fast for me to catch up. Like we went from decades to a couple of years to a couple of months, and now we're in a spot that acceleration is like weeks. And for me, at least, how I feel it, I know we are not at the singularity yet.
Yeah.
But it's really weird how much advance we are seeing in like the Neuralink of Elon Musk. I don't know if you've seen anything about that.
I want to volunteer. I've been trying to upload my brain into the internet since I found out the internet existed. So yeah, I'm in.
Now, Citizen B, he says this is exactly how the .com bubble felt. Now,
Nice.
I think I remember the .com bubble happening, but I wasn't aware of kind of the full potential. I was definitely just in a chat room probably, or playing Wolfenstein 3D on my computer.
On ICQ.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Napster. Citizen B says Napster.
Yeah.
Napster.
But he also said that this time the products are way cooler, and I have to agree.
And it's really weird because when I first got into Hic et Nunc like a month ago, when I first saw it, it really reminded me of the early days of the internet. The interface. It's so anachronistic, the way they integrate like an old style, like a 90s, late 90s style of website with a really new implementation of the blockchain. That the other day I was thinking that the blockchain is a really newish technology, but it could have been implemented in like the year 2000. It's not like VR or something that requires a lot of processing. It's not something that requires huge processing power. It's just that the idea took some time to develop, but the technology, we could have seen a blockchain in the year 2000, I think. And Hic et Nunc is sort of the representation of what would that have looked like.
I agree with
that,
dude. I totally agree with that. I'm gonna tell you something. I've had it in my head for a little while, and now that you've said it, I'm gonna go ahead and voice it out. I feel like there's a really interesting break between the people that learn how to use the internet right in the 90s and the people that use it before that, or after that. I'm sorry, like the 2000s. I think there's a huge gap, right? And because that generation that learned it in the 90s is kind of coming into power, is coming into their 30s and 40s, where you're an adult and you're less about the adventure, you're more about the settling down and kind of like, creating a what do you call it, an established life. as we're coming into power, we're bringing it back to saying like, no, we're gonna use the internet the right way. Let us show you how it's done. And I feel like is this regression towards 90s internet culture happening by the elders, let's call them, right? The elders are like, no, no, no. You have your Facebook, you have your stuff, but let us show you how it was done. Let us show you how an internet is run, where you can find actual information when you search for it, where you can communicate with your friends instead of having a computer tell you with algorithms, this is what you want to watch, this is who you want to talk to, and this is what you want to buy, right? So I think this is all part of that movement.
And also, yeah, like there was a comment, Rexon in the chat, he says, the NFT is like when you walk on a big square full of artists, you want to buy everything, except here, the square is the whole world. I think that's a really cool comment, because in the original internet, like, we were connecting with people from all over the world, but there was still a big learning curve. And I think that it took a little while, but, you know, it took a little while to monetize the internet. Like, it took a little while before you realized that this was a shot, you know, this could be a giant mall. Yeah. And I think we have a good opportunity right now, that the people who are creating the content and creating the art are at the forefront of everything.
Yep.
That hopefully we'll be able to speed past that part where the big companies figure out how to monetize it. Like, everybody will be looking back like, no. Like,
we don't want them all.
An NBA NFT, like, that's so 6 months ago. Come on now.
Look at what happened.
We're on peer-to-peer networks. Like, I sent Shaquille O'Neal my token. Like,
exactly.
we talk every once in a while.
Facebook, when Facebook tried to create its own crypto coin, and everybody was like, "What? No, that's not happening." Like, everybody just backed out of that project. Like, nah, you guys are idiots. Nobody's gonna buy this.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing about Hic et Nunc. There is no advertising, so it's like a 2000 website, but it has no banners. You know, there is no product. There is no enterprise.
Right.
It's very horizontal. You know, very circular.
If you keep the dollar, I mean, or whatever, if you keep the coin in the community longer, it helps the community before it leaves and it goes to that centralized power, whatever that centralized power is. So it's really important to keep that dollar in the community.
Although I do believe that capitalism will take a really good hold of NFTs. You know, the top shots and all that, they are going to keep growing bigger and bigger. But it's really cool that we have an alternative to that in place with Hic et Nunc.
Right.
That's why I think Hic et Nunc will grow immensely, because the main thing is open source and it's open entry. There are no barriers, so anyone can get in. And then if you do well or not, it's because of your own way of doing it.
I'll present to you what I'm going to call the Google dilemma. So right now we're at a point where this can grow into something huge. You're saying that we all three of us, I think, believe wholeheartedly this is going to grow into something huge, right? And it will eventually become an enterprise. How do we make it so that Google creed, and I'm only using Google as an example now because I want them to follow this, but the Google creed of do no evil, which is how Google started, right? The Hic et Nunc is a very open source, free. How do we make sure that the community enforces that the community learns this is how it started and this is how it needs to stay, or as close to this as possible, so that it may continue without becoming the next, the next centralized Facebook type shenanigans, right?
Yeah.
So I think, again, these conversations are super important. These little community meetups where we're all getting to say what we're talking about, what we're feeling, and we're all building a culture when the playing field is still level. Before somebody comes and plants their flag and says, "Well, this is now the whatever NFT that belongs to Walmart." or NBA or what you were saying. Before that happens, right now the playing field is level, and that's why we need to produce content and continue helping other artists to grow. You know, I've always said it. I'll never be Neo in the movie, but I want to be Morpheus. I definitely want to be the guy that tells the guy, "Hey, you're the one. Go get it."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Now I do that talking about that, it made me remember there's a new platform. So kind of in the background here, I've been scrolling through Hicket Nunk and kind of bookmarking some things to look at later. This is really freaking cool. But so we'll check out Calumet, and Calumet's you know, another NFT platform, a little more curated. It's not completely gate kept. Like you have to go through verification, and it's just a little bit. It's a little bit more It's more curated. It's curated, but it's not totally closed off. And there's some really cool stuff there. How I did see that. Have you guys heard of Truzy yet?
Yes.
Okay. So Truzy, I haven't. I want to look at the website with you guys, and see what we all think. Because Truzy seems like, from a marketing perspective, anyway, from just seeing like their Twitter stuff and videos, to be that next step to, you know, we only pick the best of the best, the elite. You know, you're gonna find only, you know, the best artists ever here. You know? So now
that's a bold claim.
And I will say, on like for me, like on the from the tezos-artcast perspective, I definitely don't want to crap on any platform before it's out. This is all just like my personal, like, it's just what it looks like. When I see diamonds and watch bands, like, I'm concerned.
It's like the New York approach to NFTs.
Right. Yeah. So I wanted to look at it a little bit closer with you guys, see if they have anything up yet, and get your first impressions. And if I'm way off, like, I don't know. It seems like that step that's coming, where we're like, okay, Truzy, I see you. I see what you're trying to be. I know what you're gonna do. I got my eye on you, and you're not fooling anybody. But maybe you'll be really cool. I don't know.
I already have seen the site, and I don't think I will be minting on Truzy because I'm not famous, you know. But
right.
But I think it's cool. I think it's good to have a variety on the Tezos ecosystem.
Yeah.
This is a really exclusive type of platform that is going to allow a very select group of artists, and they also seem to be aiming at fashion and sports and a wider scope. But I think it's cool because it's another way to get into setting up your Tezos wallet, you know, and start buying stuff on Calamint or Hicket Nunk. Or I think like Hicket Nunk itself, it's a really good ecosystem because you have high price, you have middle price, low price, no price, and they all interact with each other very well. And you can think that way about the whole Tezos ecosystem, or about the whole NFT or crypto ecosystem, that there are a lot of layers, and a lot of people will get in through one door and then find out about other things in the space. So yeah, it's not the most attractive thing to us because we are in another wavelength of the spectrum, but I think it's cool that there are other options, another way of doing things.
Sure, it's we have our own wavelength, but it's not the only wavelength.
No.
Yes.
I think it. I like that this new you know, this growth in options. You know, the more variety, the better, to a certain extent. What's good about decentralizing power is that it is up to us, the consumer, to decide what's going to happen. So hopefully Trucy takes a hint from everything that's happening and it shapes itself according to the community as opposed to trying to shape the community, right?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
I mean, if that's their thing, right? If you're trying to, I feel like if you're trying to appeal to me as a community, then you have to focus on the community. If you want to be a selective, like this is like almost like a selective gallery where we only do feature these artists, that's fine. That's your thing. But then don't come over here and expect me to be all over your stuff if that's not my niche, if that's not what I want to look at. You know, I like the variety that we have in Hicket Nunk because it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I hadn't looked at that yet, and I really wanted to. So
It's pretty rad. I'm gonna explore it.
It's very very new. So and that was it. That's all that's to explore. Because it's brand new. So.
And the cool thing about Tezos is you can use the open minter, you know, to make your own platform if you have the programming skills. So anyone with some sort of programming skills or a little budget to hire someone can do their own platform for NFTs. And I think we will see a huge wave of platforms, of new platforms popping up in the coming months and years.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Citizen B says he thinks Hicket Nunk could be like training grounds for more curated platforms, and I get that because, and I know I've been kind of self-conscious about it lately, but it just kind of keeps coming up, and that's, you know, looking at it like Hicket Nunk is like the open mic night that you go to, and all different varieties of people are going to be there, and there's going to be the guy that's reading the same poem that he's been reading for the last 6 months, but it's very therapeutic for them and they're getting something out of it. It's great. Yeah. And then you're going to have the surprise where, you know, this dude from Argentina steps on the stage and spits some rhymes and then a little comedy after it, and you're blown away. So it has its place. And some of the people that are at those open mics, you know, they're testing their stuff out and they're sharing, they're engaging in community, and later on they move on to more curated platforms, and different stuff. And it's like you said, the different wavelengths.
The way that Hicket Nunk has organically transformed over the last month or so, because there's been some changes to the site itself, and you can see them. I think there's one or two things that I've seen moved around. But the fact that it's being organic makes me think that Hicket Nunk will grow with the community.
Yeah,
I feel like they're being very attentive, and I dig it. That's why I really dig the platform.
Yeah, and the platform can be curated externally. You know, Hicket Nunk is very bare bone, and there's nothing in there. There's no advertising. There's no dates. There's no follow button. There's no like button. There's no comments. But all of that can be done externally, you know, like we do it through Twitter or other social networks. Like we find each other outside of Hicket Nunk, and we chat outside, and we follow each other outside. And you can curate Hicket Nunk from another website or from your own social media. Mm-hmm. So that's really interesting, because perhaps you don't really need to have curation inside.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, again, I wouldn't, the way that we kind of scroll through, browse through the art and explore the art, no matter where we're at, it's like, that's how we, you know, met you. And, you know, the Twitter tweet, the retweets, and, you know, finding stuff like whoever this guy is. I want to listen to this in a minute here. But like that's all happening without that stuff. Like we're organically, you know, it allows for that organic meetup, and it's
Yeah.
really cool.
I have to take off in a second here, but I wanted to bring this out since you said singularity a little bit earlier. Left side of the brain, right side of the brain, right? One's supposed to be very logical, the other one's supposed to be very artistic, right? One of the things that has always stood out for me is I heard it somewhere, and I don't know how real this is, but when the two hemispheres of the brain began to actually fuse together, they were actually separate at one point from what we see in our, our ancestors and what we've studied, that it looked like the hemispheres were separated and it began to fuse around a certain time. And when both hemispheres fused, that's when we began to kind of hear like the voices in our head, what we call God or conscience or whatever. We were able to have those real conversations with ourselves. And I feel like that's what's happening now. You have the Eastern and the Western world kind of like fusing together through the internet as if it was one big brain, and it now had a connection between both hemispheres. And we're starting to see that singularity. We're starting to find those common threads that unites us all as a globe, as opposed to small countries and small borders and all these little things that were necessary for the older generations, but are unnecessary for us. We don't need to be centralized in order to stay alive. We can decentralize and use all the resources throughout the world in order to make everyone comfortable, not just a small group, in our tribe, which is where I feel a lot of society got their where the social construct began.
Yeah,
So,
that's really interesting because, like we were saying before, I'm just thinking this with what you're saying. The blockchain is like the one side of the brain that is very calculating and structured, and now we have the other side of the brain that's very artistic, meeting it in the middle.
I feel, and here we are, the neurons.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, I have to take off because I got to go do some shenanigans, but it's been a pleasure meeting you, Thor. It was awesome talking.
It's a pleasure as well.
All right, and I followed you. I picked up one of you, the 420 piece, which I'm super excited about. That's definitely going to make it into one of my laptops as a background.
Cool.
All right, later, guys.
All right, dude. Later, brother. Yeah, so singularity, freaking awesomeness. I want to hear this droney floating tuning thing. Now, Thor, I do want to let you know, like, we usually hit about 2 hours, so about 45 more minutes. You're welcome to hang out. We're just gonna chill and look at some art and keep talking. But
Cool.
Feel free to dip out at any point or just hang out for the entire time.
It's okay. It's okay. I
you're
can
a welcome
stay.
guest.
Yeah,
I'm having fun. So
cool.
Klaatu Barada Nikto said, "Thank you, good times. Bye, good times." Klaatu Barada Nikto, I'm glad you spoke up because now I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 people in the running for the doubloons. And actually, okay, wait 1 second here. I'm going to check this out. I better just announce it. So we've got some other stuff to give away. So we're going to be giving away awesome NFT that Thor here made for us. Oh, wait, what are you doing? Stop. Sorry, I'm freaking out here.
It's okay.
I had it a minute ago. This beautiful little babe. Where are you? There you are. So everybody's going to be getting one of these beautiful Iwu faces. It's so cool.
I actually did this in 2016.
Okay.
But recently I touched it up a little, and I minted for the first time.
Nice. Exclusively minted right here for the ARRRRcast and for you guys. So awesome. So we're going to give that away at the end of the stream. And then also one of our guests from a former stream, Gabriel Pazine, who's doing the Punkdo mini NFT game. Have you seen that, Thor?
I've seen images, but I think I haven't seen the game itself.
Okay. He's also doing a thing called Tezos Pirates.
Yeah, I like I like that stuff, that aesthetic. I like it.
Yeah, it's a cool aesthetic. And basically, what it is you get one of these, and this is the doubloon, which is like old school pirate treasure, gold. So you burn one of these, and then it generates randomly one of 666 possible pirates. Or there's only 666 pirates, but there's like 75,000 combinations of rarity. And so we've got like a little list here of all the different types. So you've got like the rarity aspect is made by their titles, and long story short, we've got 5 to give away. So we're going to do that in just a few minutes. So again, if you're watching and you haven't made a comment yet, do it. We're going to give away these doubloons at noon. That's going to be the hard time. Noon o'clock. We're going to give away some Tezos doubloons that turn into pirates. So that's fun. That was kind of a last minute thing that Gabe sent to share with us all. So
you burn the doubloon token, and then
yes.
you get the pirate.
That's right. Yeah. So
he sends it to you manually.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
And that's the way that it's working with the Puncto game too. So he, as an artist, will put up a card like, clothing change, and then you buy the clothing change card, you burn it, you send him the transaction showing that you've burned it, and then he remints it with the changes and sends it directly to you. So you kind of you're interacting with him through all of the stuff. So that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Cool personal aspect to it. And same with the pirates. I think again, he's got a generator that's switching it up for that, but so he's not doing 75,000 individual illustrations, but he is sending them out manually at the moment. So it's a lot to send out.
Yeah.
All right. I want to see what this is. Let's see. It looks cool.
Give me a minute. I will come right back when you play the video.
Okay. You want me to wait for you for the video?
No. You can play it. I will come right back.
Well, you got it. Perfect. You got it. All right, y'all in the chat. Here we go. Let's see what this is. I'm going to try and make sure the volume's good. Giving away the doubloons at 12 o'clock. But you must speak up in the chat to get involved, even if it's just a little emoji. Ooh. We probably won't listen to a full 20 minutes, but all right, we're going to speed it up a little. I'm curious where we're at around this time. Crypt teams. Martin, what's up? Crypt teams. All right, I'm gonna jump ahead here. That is a 20-minute video.
He minted this video in
Yep.
Hikenuk? Oh, okay.
Droning loop number 3, recorded and created by Gustavo Pame, aka Calypsismo. For buyers, since Hen only allows 40 megabytes, I can send the original files. Contact me. This is the third of my droning loop series, a free improv session trying to control the sonic outcome of a stable system rendered unstable by manipulation. Music can be a presentation of choices already made, or, in this case, a journey towards the wanted sound, the choices being the documentation of trial and error. All right. Heck yeah.
This is like the most analog NFT ever.
Yeah, exactly, right? Citizen B said it reminds him of a band, Godspeed You, Black Emperor. And he sends a wiki article. Nice. Acquired taste for sure. Awesome. Got about 8 minutes and we'll give away this doubloon. I just sent out a little tweet to remind people. Crypt Teams in the chat. Hey, Crypt Teams, aka Martin, was on the show a couple weeks ago. He does some amazing generative art. And yeah, it's like I said with the earlier, you know, I would never have met so many people already. Like speeding up time, I felt like we've been doing this channel and this stream for months and months, and it's been like, you know, only a few weeks, I think. So but it's so great to be able to just like meet so many people from all over the world. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and finding a lot of like-minded people too. That's another thing that, you know, it's really cool.
And it's amazing how much the Hikenuk main page has gotten better. You know, like when I first saw the website, it was like March 14th. And I didn't get it at all, because all I could see in the feed was like people taking photos of their food or uploading old pictures or quick drawings, and I didn't get what the point of that was, because I was looking at you know, more established NFT platforms like Super Rare or Nifty Gateway or Maker's Place, and so I had a different conception of what NFTs looked like. But it's amazing in how in such a short time the main feed of Hikenuk, it's gotten way better, because now you can look at it and most of the stuff it's pretty good, you know, on the main feed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and then they've got the different feeds too, like being able to do random and stuff too. That's kind of nice.
And that also could be because of the recent implementations. You know, that if you don't have any HDAO or HDAO, as I say it, you don't appear in the if you don't have it's not actually a verified profile, because it's not verified by anyone. But if you don't have a complete profile, I would say, and at least a little bit of HDAO, then your minted work will not appear on the main feed.
Huh. I read something about that. I wasn't sure exactly how it was working. Now, are they? Do you know if they're still getting Are they still getting HDAO when you mint? No.
No.
Okay, so you have to buy it secondary if you
Yeah.
if you don't have it already.
They only gave HDAO on the first 45 days of the platform, so that's the whole March and until I believe it's April 15th.
Okay.
And I got into the platform, started minting on April 10th. So I only got like 9 HDAO from my activity in less than a week. And then it stopped. So now if you get in Higetnunk now, you won't get HDAO from minting or buying, or there's a lot of collectors that got HDAO just for collecting, because every interaction in the site gave you HDAO.
Right. Yep.
So it's interesting what the role of HDAO is going to be in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also interesting how much speculation is going around that now by people that have nothing to do with Higetnunk. They want to buy it to resell it later, and it's interesting, to say the least.
For sure. I see HDAO on QuippySwap. That's right. Citizen B says you have to buy it on QuippySwap now.
Yeah, Quipu. I think it's Quipu. QuippySwap.
QuippySwap, which I'm scared of. I put one tez in, and I don't know what's going on with it. And I check on it sometimes, and I'm like, I don't. I have to do like a really deep dive into it to understand what's going on there. I'm not like you mentioned earlier, 2017, getting into the trading and stuff, and pretty soon getting out of trading. And I'm the same way. I stay back from it.
But I only used Binance at the time, so I really didn't use too much tools around trading. I only used Binance trading. And it's interesting because now with Higetnunk, it's the first time I have a wallet, for example.
Right.
And I think it's a really important experience to have when you're getting involved in crypto, to have your own crypto in your own wallet. Right. Not to leave it in the hands of exchanges, because exchanges can disappear from one day to the other.
That's true. Yep. We're looking at, I want to say hello to I am 1-to-1. Ooh, I think I said that right. I am 1-to-1 in the chat. They just showed up. And F. Conway, I saw you in the chat recently. What's up? And he says, I recognize the stamp artwork up in the corner. Flygor, which is Gabriel artwork. The Tezos-Artcast logo, F. Conway, that was the first artist mint for the podcast. And and he gave us his blessing to use it as our logo. So that was really awesome. Got a super fortunate. I love that stamp look. It takes me back to my my zine making days, and I'm about to send out some mail actually to some people. So I'm very excited about that. I'll have to talk about that another day, though.
And it has a lot of symbolism with collecting.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stamp thing,
right?
It's about sending. It's about sending. It's about receiving, and it's also about collecting the medium.
Right. Yeah. Man, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I love it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and 1 minute. Okay, I was just about to get into the collections tab. I hadn't seen this yet, so of Hen, which seems really cool. The galleries, that's right.
It's really cool that the first gallery, it's called how do you say it in English? Dilated.
Yes, dilated.
Dilated pupil.
Right.
So it's the first gallery, the first collection of the site is a Brazilian psychedelic inspired. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. You know what? And that's one thing I want to do too. I want to get an art show going with the people that we've had involved on the show. Like just that would be so fun to put together. Okay. So pretty soon we're gonna all be on this page too. All right, it's 12 o'clock. Oh, I meant to get some dramatic music for this, but I'm still very new to the live streaming. So I did get this though. I'm gonna do my own thing here. Let's see. I'm gonna create my own music. Where'd my doubloon go? I got all this cool stuff posted. Oh, I don't know. We'll just stay up here. Okay, ready? Prepare yourselves if you prepare yourselves for my pirate music. See. Yo ho, pirates' lives for me. Yo ho, the pirates' lives for me. Okay, that's that was my dramatic pirate music for now. So we're gonna give it away. Let's see. Okay, so what I've done, I thought about this a lot, and I'm like, how am I gonna give away 5 doubloons? I know how I give away the regular NFTs, and I'm still working that out to be more efficient and cooler. But I racked my brain. I thought, like, I'm going to get, some kind of random generator to pull all of the names from the chat. And there's going to be like a thing on the, what do they call it with the balls? Bingo or?
Yeah.
I'm going to have like one of those things playing in the background, and we're going to see this exciting video stuff. But I decided that I was going to go this route instead.
Analog.
So, analog
works.
I have been taking down the names of everybody that's made a comment in the chat, and I'm putting them in a hat. And then I'm going to pull 5 names to be rewarded with 5 doubloons. So I want to make sure I've got all of the names here of everybody that's been in here. So this is your last chance. I've got Rexin, aka Oris on Twitter. I am 1D1, Trinity Life, Citizen B, F Conway, Klaatu Barada Nikto, and Crypt Teams. Now, speak up right away if you don't have it, if you're not in that list, because I have just 1 more minute to find my hat. Where'd my hat go? Pardon me. You'll have exactly 30 seconds to gather 1 more comment that I can add to this list. 1 moment. Thor, the floor is yours, sir, for 1 moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm the host of the show now, it seems. I don't even have the chat open. Which okay, help me out, guys. Say something in the chat because I don't know what to comment about. I am 0. I am on 1. So excited. Yeah, it's hard to be in this position. I've never been in the show before. I don't even speak English as my first language, and now I am the host of the show. Do you guys in the chat use Hiket Nunc? Okay, you're back.
I'm back. All right. It doesn't look like we have any new entries. Just wanted to double check. Okay, here we go. I got the hat. Notice there's nothing in the hat. Okay, I just want to make sure that we clear this. Crypt teams, you're going in, folding it up. Boom. Klaatu, Barada, Nikto, that's yours? F. Conway, you can confirm that that is you.
I think people will trust you. You don't have to worry so much.
All right. Okay. Boom. All right, we got the rest here. And here we go. All right. Shaking it up. All right, Thor, you say when?
Now.
Okay. And the first winner of a doubloon is Citizen B. All right. Citizen B says never do this in any other way, by the way. All right. And I'm going to decide this one stopping now. Boom. And we've got Trinity Life. Trinity Life, you've also won a doubloon. All right. Thor.
It will be hard when you have like 100 viewers.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll need a moderator to be writing down the names and everything. Okay, you let me know when. Oh. Rexon! Boom. That's 3. We got 2 more. Looks like we got 4 more players. So here we go. Thor, you let me know.
High probability. Now.
Okay. I am 1D1. 1-1. You've also won, sir, or ma'am, or person. I don't know. I always do that. Like, okay, let's keep going. I am the one, and this is the last one. This is a big one. Tell me when.
Now.
All right. So the last one for the 5th doubloon. F. Conway. F. Conway, you are the final winner of the 5th doubloon to be given away on the THOR. So thank you guys for tuning in on that. And please message us on Twitter. I do have your names, but if your names are not the same on Twitter, it will be difficult for me to get to sending you the stuff. So Twitter, hit me up and send me your address, and I will directly send those to you. And for, let's see who else was going in. Crypt teams. Sorry, buddy. Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. Sorry as well. I do have a small gift for you, so hit me up as well. I'm going to send you something special just for participating, because we're small enough that we can do that. But those doubloons are really cool. I wish I had one myself. Okay, that was fun. Yeah, and this is what you got, just in case you didn't know. You got a doubloon. Yes, Thor has been a great guest today.
Thank you.
You can
also choose to keep the doubloon if you like it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You do not have to burn the doubloon. And okay, so just in case, maybe make sure everyone knows what to do with their doubloon. You can head to flygore.com/tezospirates.php to check out the full story on everything. But you're basically taking this doubloon and you're going to burn it. And then once you burn it, you're going to contact Flygore. And then Flygore is going to generate your pirate and send it to you. So the pirate is a randomly generated pirate like these, all different attributes, which make them either common or super rare, and everywhere in between. So, but like Thor just said, you can absolutely choose to just hang on to this as well. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, I had a couple. I am so stoked. I'm stoked for you guys. I did want to check out. I haven't seen the Fen. Have you seen anything from the Fen? You know about this project?
Yes, I don't know if I've seen it all, but I browsed about.
Okay.
I've seen some stuff.
Right. These are pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
a little terrarium or something.
You know, it happens with everything that is 3D in Iket Nunc that I want to spin it around.
Yeah, I'm like, why doesn't it spin?
Yeah.
I know, seriously. So true.
It's really spoiling us with the 3D stuff. Like I want to rotate everything that I see in the web that is 3D.
Right. Econ Rockstar F Conway, thank you. Yeah, I totally want to do the same thing. I'm not. I don't have any 3D skills yet to implement, but if maybe
Me either.
someday. Yeah, like you said, I'm like a big fan of black and white. Like as far as my own stuff goes, if I do any illustrating or anything like that, I'm definitely more along the lines of black and white. Color can be kind of scary.
Yeah.
Patrick Trezet, apparently he was one of the first artists on Hen where I saw one of these pieces and I got emotional because it was so beautiful, and there's something about it was so great. And
He's really good.
Really, just really good.
Very expressive.
Yes, very. These are cool too. These look like they play. iFace, #girl. Digital print, generative art, technique, custom software, and generative adversarial network. Alter ego collects thousands. Oh, I see. Thousands of images posted publicly online. These super high resolution digital prints are like tiny universes where the viewer can zoom in, get lost, and discover glimpses of human lives.
You have the tool to zoom in.
Yes.
That's cool.
Wow. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, because you remember seeing those, like when you ever go to the mall and go into one of the art stores and they'd have like a collage of like Marilyn Monroe with all of her pictures or something. I remember seeing those for the first time, and it's but it was never this small.
I remember a friend used to do that like in 2005.
Yeah.
He gotten like a software that could do that. Obviously, this is done way better.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
That is very reminiscent of the early days of the internet as well. You know, the image loading packets.
Yeah. One bit by bit by bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes the resolution is so high in Hiket Nunc that you'll have that kind of effect.
Yeah.
That loading by bits.
That's pretty neat. We were talking about the Magic Eye art last year or last podcast where you stare at it for a long time and it changes into something. That was cool. That's due to make a comeback.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna see it on Hic et Nunc pretty soon. This is cool. Whoa. Oh, I think it paused. Wait a minute. Let's go back. All right. Prepare to trip out. Come on.
That's the Google how it's called, the Dreamscape, something like that.
Right, where it really messes everything up.
Yeah, it makes a lot of animal faces and eyes.
Yeah, so creepy.
It's very like Alex Gray. Do you know Alex Gray art?
Oh, love Alex Gray. I'm a big fan of Tool, which is I think how I found Alex Gray is because of Tool.
It will be very interesting as well to see all these traditional artists get into Hic et Nunc or other platforms, because we are just beginning and they will hop on later on.
Oh yeah, I agree. Trippy.
That's the thing of nightmares right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have seen that in my nightmares before.
Some crazy orangutan beast coming to get you.
That's right. I would not want to be tripping and see that. I would definitely avoid it. Okay, smaller, it's a little bit faster. That's crazy. This is done, Citizen B said that is done by the guy who first pointed out the enormous energy use of ETH NFTs. He minted this on Nuck the other day. Oh, cool.
Right. Nemo Acton.
Okay.
I think his first calculations were kind of off. With the like, if you minted one piece in the Ethereum blockchain, that would consume like leaving your computer on for like 80 years. I think that was kind of off.
Yeah. Now, did you ever when you got started minting on Hic et Nunc, was that the first time that you had minted an NFT ever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're not coming from minting on ETH and then coming over and starting to mint on Tezos.
When I found out about the NFTs in general, I was watching, like Super Rare or like I said before, Known Origin, that type of website. But I was gearing up to submit some of my stuff there because my stuff is kind of simple, the animation I do, and it's not like that 3D, full immersive, psychedelic, really high effort artwork.
Right.
So I was trying to do a more complex piece to submit to that kind of platform. But then when I found out about Hic et Nunc, at first I didn't get it at all. But like 1 month later, in the beginning of April, it clicked for me. And also the price, because living in Argentina, I don't have like I do have it, but it's expensive for me to mint something for $50 or $100, and perhaps the transaction backtracks and you lose it in a second.
Right. Yeah.
So it's really it's complicated. So when I found out about Hic et Nunc, the eco stuff, the ecological and economical stuff, so I decided to start minting on Hic et Nunc. And then when I found out about the community that was forming, it was amazing. because as far as I've read on Twitter, the community on the Ethereum platforms is good because there is a lot of friendships and a lot of connections made over there, but it's also highly competitive.
Right.
So I'm really grateful that I minted for the first time in Hicket Nuke.
Well, these are cool.
There's one guy that has been uploading some 3D stuff to Hicket Nuke. Let me see, because I think he uploaded recently.
Now, if you can find it, you can share your screen if you'd want to. You don't have to, or you can drop a link, but I can.
I will send you a link.
Okay.
I put it here in the chat of StreamYard.
Yeah. There's a private chat or the regular chat, either way.
Okay, I sent the link through there.
Yeah.
I recently found out about this guy that does 3D sculptures, and I was amazed by the textures he used. The shapes are cool and they are great. But if you look at the texture work, if you zoom in, you will see there's like very detailed texture work.
Oh yeah.
And the designs are amazing also.
Huh. It's like a bat, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a dragon or a bat.
That's pretty cool.
And he hasn't uploaded a lot of stuff yet, but the stuff that he has, I think it's really, really good.
Yeah. That'd be cool too to have so I do a little bit of 3D printing, and this is the kind of stuff that you could make a little figure out of,
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool to have on your shelf.
Also for 3D printing is I like Sleepy. I don't know if you know him.
No.
I can send you a link also, as well.
Yeah, please.
This guy is called Cryote. He's really good. And he's uploading more frequently now.
Huh. Oh, let's check out this cat. Cat bat.
The detail is amazing. The eyes, the stone he has, the gem he has in his hands.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I think we are about to see a lot of great creators get into there already are a lot of great artists in the platform, but I think we will see a big injection of talent into the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is cool. It's really cool. Within Grasp, it's called. What is Rexin is showing us something. Oh man, it's one thing that drives me crazy is I can't open these. Let's see what I can do. Rexin, I'm gonna try to open that in a minute. If you have an object number, it's easier for me, Rexin. Yeah, Citizen B says a huge inflow is coming, for sure.
There's a lot of people that have tried minting on Ethereum platforms, but they haven't had much success there because it's already highly populated and very competitive.
Yeah.
So they are great artists, but they uploaded something to Known Origin or some platform like that, and they have it there like a month and it doesn't sell So they lower the price and it doesn't sell. And the next step is coming to Hic et Nunc, you know,
Yep.
making more editions, making lower prices, trying to do some price exploration that I think is very important, to start out by exploring how much the collectors are willing to spend on your stuff. You know, when I first got into Hic et Nunc, I set my prices really low. I put high number of editions, like 100 editions, and put 0.1 test
Yeah.
to test out the price. And as collectors started buying some pieces, I progressively raised the price. And I think that is a very good tip for newcomers. To don't come in expecting to sell a one by one edition piece for 50 tests if no one knows you, if you don't have following on social media, if your art is not well known.
Yeah. I think I went the opposite direction on accident. You know, I mistakenly minted something for 100 instead of 10 tes, and then I was like, it's fine. We'll see what happens.
That was the time when you set the price in mutas, right?
Yes.
Instead of tes.
Yeah, that's right.
That was complicated.
Yeah. And then I changed it up, but you know, it's just something you experiment with.
It's good that you can cancel the swap and change the price.
I don't know what's going on. I think I'm having trouble with these last two links. I might have to just close some tabs ultimately. Too many tabs open at once. It shouldn't be a problem. The network sometimes gets sluggish.
Yeah. When I started collecting, I could see my collection, but since the last object for object event, I cannot see my collection without it going haywire. You know,
right.
My computer cannot stand the processing power it requires to load my collection now.
Right.
Because everything is loaded fully. You know, there is no thumbnail.
Yep.
Everything you look is at the highest resolution possible.
Which I love.
It's great, but it's hard on collections.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I don't upload very high resolution.
I wanted to ask you, so what is WebP?
No, I upload I upload everything in GIF, and sometimes it transforms it to WebP. I don't know why. Sometimes you can.
What is WebP? Is it just another image file?
Yeah, I think it stands for like web picture, because then you have WebM, that is web movie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I don't know much about that format, although I never researched it. But everything I upload is GIF or GIF.
Right.
And I don't use very high resolution, about 500 or 600 pixels.
Yeah.
600 by 600. Because if I use like 2000 by 2000 pixels, it will take a lot of time to load.
Yeah, probably take forever, right?
And perhaps it's not the best decision because I'm not future-proofing my profile, you know?
Right, I guess that's one way to look at it.
But I don't know, I will keep the originals in high resolution to... Perhaps in the future there will be a chance to send them or upload them somewhere else.
Right. This is what the Neil Cena in the comments put this in.
I love that.
Oh my goodness.
I think we're going to start to see a lot of creative stuff like this thing, like
Yeah.
more sense of humor.
Yep.
Because until now the NFT space is very much fine arts oriented.
Yep.
That it's really cool. I mean, we all love to see great work, great paintings, great 3D work. But I think we're going to start to see a lot of memes and humorous stuff like this that is pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just hilarious. It's necessary too. You definitely need a little bit of you need the humor. We're gonna see
Lightheartedness.
exactly. Who knows? Maybe the next comedy set you put out will be an NFT series.
Yeah, but I don't know how to do it in English. I could do it in Spanish.
That's all right because it's an international community, right?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
That's one thing we were talking about also is being able to branch out, and I mean meeting people from around the world is awesome.
Yeah,
but being able to have some more. I mean, Andy, I was telling Andy he's fluent in Spanish, and I floated the idea by him of hey, if you ever want to do maybe a Spanish version of the show, where I mean I could just hang out and I'm down to just listen, but I think it's important even if we're not doing it that different communities are served by different similar things, and so maybe that's the call. Maybe we should, Thor, I'd like to officially offer you the Argentinian branch of the tezos-artcast. So you think about that because you're a great host.
I will do it. But that's also very Web 1.0 reminiscent, because at the beginnings of the internet, we were all on the ICQ or IRC chats, asking ASL, age, sex, location.
That's right.
And we were chatting with people from all around the world. And then with the Web 2.0, with the social networks and all that, we kind of closed up to our little bubbles, in our cities or in our countries.
Right.
And this is cool because it's been a long time since I chatted and interacted with so much people from different countries.
Yeah, same here. I mean, yeah. Oh, that's right. I was going to ask you. Okay, Argentina. Here's my one thing that I know about Argentina.
Messi.
Maybe one of a couple things, but Fernet Branca. Yeah. Fernet and Coke.
Yeah, that's really popular here. It's like a very local drink, especially in the Cordoba province that I talked about before. That's like the heart of Fernet with Coke. And it's really weird because I know about Fernet getting popular over there because of podcast or that sort of thing. But most people here don't know that Fernet is popular in the United States.
Yes, and there's a lot of people in the United States that don't know that Fernet's popular in the United States.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna grab something because I have to now. Wait, let me think. I have to show you something now.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I think Fernet is Italian. It's like for people in the chat that don't know what Fernet is like a mixture of herbs that is quite bitter, and you mix it with the Coke to make it more palatable and drinkable. But it's really popular here in Argentina. I'm wondering what Jeff is going to bring now. Is he going to drink Fernet live? Hmm.
All right. I couldn't find what
is
I
that
was
a
thinking.
real life doubloon?
A what?
A real life doubloon?
This skeleton?
No, the thing you have in your hands. It's like a
Oh.
giant doubloon.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
here
it
we
is.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the, what is that?
It's a tray, like a carrying tray.
Tray. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says there in the below the name. It says it's digestive.
That's right. Aperitivo digestivo. Yeah, I'm a big Fernet fan. I have a bunch of coins too, but I couldn't find them. Anyway, that's my one link to Argentina,
Yeah.
I should say.
I think Fernet is originally Italian,
Yeah?
but it's really popular here in Argentina. It's like the most popular drink after, beer or wine.
Yeah, it's out here we would drink it together in the service industry, but we would have, like, if somebody came and it was their 21st birthday and they could drink legally, it's like, oh, I'll buy you a shot.
Yeah.
A shot of Fernet. Oh, what's that? And there's a whole website dedicated to your first Fernet, and it just is like pictures of people's faces when they take Fernet for the first time. But,
yeah, I think of Fernet like it's like a different version of Jägermeister.
Sure.
Because it's like a mixture of herbs.
Right. Yeah. Better
But
than
it's-
Jägermeister.
But it's more bitter and more Italian
Yes.
than Jägermeister.
That's right. That's right. Citizen B is out in Italy. Would be familiar with Fernet and Amaro. That's right. I'm a big Amaro fan. Well, Thor, it's being about that time. Did you want to include anything else, or did you have anything you wanted to kind of plug, or?
No, I could say I also have a Calamint profile if someone is interested. I'm only uploading one edition pieces there, and it's like a variation of my style in Hiket Nunc, because I had some pieces already made that are the same style but include a bit of color.
Okay.
And I want to keep my Hiket Nunc profile black and white.
Yes.
So if you go to calamint.io/user/Thor, you can see it's the same style, but they have little dashes of color.
I love this green too. Your Thor profile.
I use the Calamint green.
Yeah.
To integrate with the platform.
Your blocky lettering here is great.
That's very much like the Hiket Nunc logo.
It is. Oh, those are cool. Little splashes of color, right?
Yeah, and so these pieces are one edition, and they are more expensive than the ones on Hiket Nunc. So I'm not counting on selling them soon, but I'm letting them just rest there until they find a collector.
This is awesome. I love that. I love that he sticks his tongue out. Don't try this at work. little doo. Whoop, tongue fell off. He's tripping.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude. Those are rad. Good vibes, girl. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I didn't see that on your link tree. Is it on your link tree?
No, I haven't put it yet, but I will add it.
Cool. Yeah, because these are great. People definitely should see these. I think when I talked to Gabriel of the Puncto and Pirates thing, like he's also very much like minimal color, black and white. It can be like cursing. Color can be like cursing. If you use it sparingly, it has a big impact.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, dude. This has been really fun.
Thank you for inviting me, and you can consider me now an official friend of the show.
Absolutely. And we will. I'd love to have you back at some point.
Whenever you want.
As we evolve and grow together.
Sure.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Me too.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, and everybody in the chat. Zissis bliat. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher it. Zissis bliatkas. Hey guys, check out some MS Paint Neo Tropical vibes at hen.link/paint. I will. Absolutely. I'm going to save that link for next time. Come back and join us next week. We don't have a plan quite yet, but my work schedule is crazy. So probably next Thursday. But again, thank you guys so much. And this has been so much fun. Hopefully Good Times can join us again next week. And yeah, go buy some NFTs from THOR. And so at the very least, spread the love and share. All right.
Great.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.